Many prospectors hope, dream, and pray for it. It's an exclusive show. It's rich, chunky gold lining the streams, waiting patiently for centuries. It's a private oasis, hidden away in the remote wilderness where only you hold the key. Forgotten about, given up on, grown over, unreachable. Such a place could not exist, could it? Well, recently, on an overnight trip, I was fortunate enough to find such a haven. And on my last day, on the last hour, I struck it big time, finding over 2 ounces in the most loaded honey hole I have ever seen. It's been weeks since I had to leave the river, and I have not stopped thinking about what I might have left behind, and with miles of river left to explore, what the outcome will be. Well, the day has finally arrived. I'm packed up and heading down to the river. I have been dreaming of this moment ever since I had to leave last time. I've had a fair bit on and it has been killing me. But I'm glad to say I've got 4 days worth of food on me, a couple of spare snuffer bottles, and plenty of energy. We're going to be ripping into this spot and seeing what we can recover this time around. I cannot wait. Let's get down there. Are you ready for this? There it is. The most beautiful creek in Tasmania, in my opinion. So I've made it back to the spot where I finished up last time. My rushed exit. Now I am going to head back down to my honey hole, but first there was something I forgot upstream while I was working up there last time, and I need to go and pick that up. That was somewhere around here because I was working these little crevices and I plucked out that little nugget, that little 2-grammer. There we go. Now, as you can imagine, I'm pretty excited to get back in the water, but I also want to find some new ground to work. So I'm going to take my bag, head past my honey hole where I finished up last time, and try to find somewhere similar or somewhere to camp, and then I can search the area from there. Now this here is a pretty good spot. It's protected, it's flat, there's no dead trees, a little bit swampy, so mozzies could be an issue, but other than that, it's pretty damn good. Yeah, I could see myself setting up here. Okay, I've got camp set up. Totally geared up. I'm not going to waste any time. We need to go get some more gold. Every prospector worth his salt knows the feeling of returning to a great spot only to have it come up dry the second time around. This has happened to me countless times, but fortunately for me, this time
was not one of them.
Oh, what an insane run this morning. I've got like a fair bit of gold and it's starting to dry out a bit. So I'm going to head downstream and try and find somewhere else to work and hopefully find some sunlight because I'm freezing. So I've just been walking down the river and I've came across pretty good looking bedrock here, so I think I'm gonna jump in and try my luck. Might be a bit smooth, but you never know.
It didn't take long before I found a couple of tight-packed crevices worth cracking open. Surprisingly, although the honey hole was only a few hundred meters upstream, this spot seemed to share none of the same gold. All I obtained was just this one flake. Perhaps all the gold was concentrated upstream, closer to the honey hole. I thought I'd better test downstream further, so I continued walking. After about a kilometer, I found this beautiful bend in the river, and what's even better was the crevices that ran along its inside.
Okay guys, I'm finishing up for the day. I'm going to head back a bit early just because the water's a bit colder than normal and I got a few days here, so there's no need to go too hard. Day one of the big gold extravaganza. Let's see how we did. Ooh, there's a lot of shiny in there. Oh, that's a lot. Look at that. Just from there. Yeah, pretty bloody good. That is a very good day one.
A little wiry bit here. Plenty of little nuggety pieces. Nike tick. Definitely over and out, but I don't know how much by. I'm going to say 45 grams, ounce and a half.
So here's the plan for tomorrow then. I reckon it's going to pay off if I do a recce mish downstream for 3-4 Ks and just have a look at what's on offer and test. If there's a good spot that has good crevices, test it. Is there gold there? Is there not gold there? I'll put everywhere that I try, I can leave a GPS mark on my map, tracking app. And then for day 3, I'll know where to go, where to put my time. Because I've got a feeling that the chunkiest gold is probably up here, but that's not to say that there aren't really perfect crevices way downstream that have thousands of pieces of fine gold, which can be just as good. And unfortunately, like my honey hole and this area up here, it's kind of starting to dry up. I've worked most of what's kind of visible, and without like moving too much overburden, there's not a lot of work left. So yeah, I reckon tomorrow that'll be a cool mission. Go for a massive walk down the river and just test and see how we go from there.
Morning guys, so I've just woken up and put my pants on. Can anyone tell me what the hell this crazy alien thing is? Seems I've got a friend here. He does not look that friendly though.
Day 2 was always going to be a massive test for me. It would be my first full day on the river, where I could work virgin spots, and meant I'd have a good chance to break my daily record, which I set on the last trip at 81 grams. It would require 3 things to break it: long hours, hard work, and most importantly, finding the right spots to dedicate those 2 factors to. So far my day had been pretty good, but it was almost halfway through and I was doubting my ability to break my record. So I continued downstream on a whim I might come across another jackpot. I could tell from the minute that I scratched this crevice that this spot was gonna be loaded. Sure, the gold was a lot smaller than upstream, but there was already so much of it in a small area. I couldn't wait to see what else was hiding.
I'm done. Holy moly, what a finish. It's going to be a pretty cool night, I think, so I better get this going before we check the gold. There's so many heavies in here to pan. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it was a pretty massive day. Was it as big as my last trip though? I do not know, in all honesty. I feel like it could be close, but the gold on average wasn't as big as the last trip. This might have to do. Damn. Pretty massive. As you can see, nothing really big in here, but plenty of it. There's that little red thing that I found. It was acting like a heavy, but I don't know. I'd never seen it before. Pretty damn good. And here's the nugget of the day for day 2. Not massive, but could be almost a gram maybe. I've actually got a nugget very similar to this. Looks like a boot. So now I've got a pair. Oh, damn, that feels good to straighten the back out. I must have been bending over on my knees from 8 till 6, I think. What's that? 10 hours. No wonder I feel that crap. So I'm just doing some thinking about what the plan will be for today. And I think what I'll do is I'll head back downstream to where I got onto that really rich crevice at the end of yesterday. There seemed to be quite a bit of gold in that area. And I know why, because either side of the river kind of banks up like this. And then there was one crevice behind a bank where it had kind of been V-shaped. So all the material that travelled over the river had passed over this sort of fall, and it had caught like a tiny percentage of it, which ended up being a lot of gold. But I'm gonna head back down to there and then continue slowly making my way back up to here as I double check or even triple check any more ground that could be worth working. And the reason I've kind of done this is because after my last trip, when I came down here downstream and got onto that like 2-ounce spot, I needed to find out if there were any other places like that. And what kind of caused that really rich spot was basically just a nice wide part of the river where all the material would flow over nice and flat. But then on top of that, it had a natural bank that went up. So any material that was heading along the river had to kind of climb for a short section. Now that slows all materials down and was great for gold because as it was, there was actually little riffles and cracks in that bank which trapped all of the gold, and that's why it was so rich. Obviously I haven't found anything quite like that since that trip, but I needed to find out if there were, because those type of spots are just insane when you can get onto them and they've never been touched. They're totally loaded. So I've covered probably 3 or 4 Ks downstream. I'm pretty happy with my exploration here. My super rich crevice from yesterday Arvo's like 1.5 K away, so I'll head back to that this morning and then slowly make my way back up here. And I might even head back towards the steps area because I did get a nugget there last trip, like a 2-gram nugget, just basically in this tiny little quartz hole that was sitting on the side of the river, and there might be more of those. Anyway, there's going to be no shortage of places for me to try to find work today. I just hope that it's worth working and that I end up having another super rich gold day, because I'd love to do back-to-back 3 amazing days. Day 3, here we go. Can we do it again?
Time is a wheel that is spinning, always moving on. The moments you think last forever, you look up and one day they're gone. Gotta hold on, hold on. You see little glimmers of heaven from the waves through my own daughter's eyes. Of all the things this life could offer, I know that there's no greater prize than to hold on, hold on. Gotta hold on, hold on. Go all the little seconds that we hold, every single breath we get to take. Don't let them go to waste. Give it all your heart and soul. They'll be gone before you know. So treasure it like gold. Everything we're looking for has been in our reach all along. All we gotta do is listen to hear it ring out like a song. Let it stop you and behold, 'cause it's something beautiful. Gold, all the little seconds that we hold, every single breath we get to take. Don't let them go to waste. Give it all your heart and soul. They'll be gone before you know. So treasure it like gold. From the morning to the midnight, from the high lows to the low tides, feel it all 'cause it's all part of it. Yeah, we watch it as it goes by, then we look back and we realize every minute was all just a game. Gold, all the little seconds that we hold, every picture in our mind we get to take. Don't let one get away. Give it all your heart and soul. They'll be gone before you know. So treasure it like gold.
Well guys, there's no other way to say it. I'm amazed at the last 3 days. Gold definitely slowed down a lot on me today, but I feel very content in the fact that I've done most of the work here that can be done. Let's have a look at this gold. Tell you what, it's not a bad day. Probably did better than I thought actually. There might be 15 grams here. Maybe. I did a lot better than what I thought I did. That is not a bad day actually. I got this pretty sweet little nugget. It's only a small one, and a handful of little picker pieces as well. I've had some crazy letters on this river. That is a perfect J. That's incredible. Some crazy ass pieces of gold here. I'm just out collecting some wood for the fire, and I came across these little cutouts here. That one there, some sort of like trench. This here, that one there. But yeah, I dare say that this little campsite where I'm staying used to be someone else's campsite too, and work site.
So as I close another chapter of this wild experience, I stand on my balcony for the last time, admiring the beautiful cascades which have accompanied me the last few days. I stand and I ponder if the last pioneer who was here admired this place as much as me, for his story will never be shared, but I can imagine what it was like, the discoveries that he made and how he felt walking out of here. Exhausted, bewildered, but so content with his efforts. Content in the fact that those who seek will discover. Content that though inevitably the cascades through which the passage of time will change, there are moments to cherish within. Moments of gold that will last forever.
Let's have a look at this gold then. Day one. Day two. Day three. Day one. $38.9. Day two.